Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this morning. Got a great show lined up. First, let's get our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Highway 77. We're looking at rain. I'm talking about 100% chance of rain today. They've been predicting this about a week now, so they ride on 100% chance of rain. We've got a front coming through. We're going to watch the wind direction. It'll be fascinating to watch it. The temperature, the high today will be 73, and low tonight will be 56. But we are going to get down into the 40s. It's not going to get real cold. It's going to get cool. Our water temperature is staying at 70 degrees. Now, it's been at 7 degrees since November 24. So it's hanging in there. We're soon, I'm thinking next week, we're going to get into the 60s with that water temperature. Let's take a look at our river readings brought to us by Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage, right there about 2 minutes east of Harrison Avenue. So right there on Business Highway 98, we're going to talk a lot about those folks today. River readings looking at the Bluntstown reading is 9.9. It's level off. There's not much movement in it. The Choctawhatchee at Ebro has the same reading as far as being level. Both of them is at a 6.6 and one's at 9.9. Both those rivers are staying pretty level for the weekend. It looks that way. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent, Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is when carrying counts. They're looking at pretty good tides. We're going to get in some neat tides by the weekend, but we have a high tide at 12:27 this morning, and it's going out until about 10:55 this morning. Okay. The marine forecast is called, and it looks in this south-southwest to start with this morning. Then it's switching over to west-southwest, about 3 to 4, and it's going to make the whole run. It's going to be west-northwest, and then northwest, and then straight out of north at about 11 or 12. So it's going to be really, you're going to get to see the whole gamut today. But it's not going to be really cold air coming through. But just be careful if you get out there in some open water at 12, 13 miles per hour wind. Okay, that takes care of our weather. Like I say, 100% chance of rain. So just be prepared, drive slowly, and drive safely. Let's take our break. We'll be back with our special guest. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Welcome our guest, Mike Hobbs. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. I'm Rick.
Hey,
As always, I know Rick Corley, and Rick brought along a guest today. We're glad to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
All right, Mike is the owner and the operator of the Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage, and we talked about them, and we tried to get them to come on. So this morning, we appreciate you coming on.
Glad to be here.
And we're going to talk. First of all, I got to sort of tickle ahead. Before the show, I always get to talk to my guests and all. I've known the family a long time, and I fish with Bobo Hobbs on a yearly basis, and I'm getting the Hobbs family themselves. I guess that's one of our pioneer families in this area.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So you're part of the Hobbs, and tell us a little bit about the family.
Well, the family on the Hobbs side has been in the fishing business since the early 1900s. My Uncle M basically had the fishing fleet, and Bobo and Emery Gay, and we got involved in the 70s with it a little bit, my father and myself. But I've been in the marine construction business and docks and piers and all sorts of marine construction since the 70s. So we just kind of developed into the marina business as a result. So we've got the dry storage over there, and which hopefully we can service the town people and give them an alternative to the beach, and with fuel and ship store. And so what?
Yeah, and like I say, just go way back. If you have the book and all, I'm looking on page 206, the Hobbs Fishing Fleet, and it's fascinating. And Rick, you had some dealings with some of these old boats, the old Clipper.
Oh yeah, I've decked on every one of those boats, and we did a major refit on the old Gulf Pride when I was running the shipyard.
When I was a kid, we'd go out to Rick's dad's and place out in Grand Lagoon and get on the boat, and we'd go out and fish in Deadhead and try to make a little money in the summer. Emery Gay was running the boats, and that was a trip. Now we had a big time.
And you had the fishing fleet for a little while. You sort of.
Yeah, we just kind of later on when Uncle M basically was getting out of it and tired and older, and we had the fishing fleet and fished it out of Smith's Yacht Basin for a couple of years, and then basically. It got competitive and everybody was at the beach, so we just kind of got out of it.
back in that day, there was 29 head boats operating out of this.
29 head
20
boats. Now.
head boats,
Yeah.
not trolling boats.
This picture here, I just want to show you real quick. The Gulf Clipper, and I always got a kick out of the picture because if you see the sides on it, it wasn't too far off the water, was it?
No, the Gulf Winds. That was the one. The Gulf Winds was even lower than that. The Gulf Winds and the Judy Beth were very similar in their design.
Yeah.
Judy Beth Anderson.
But you remember it was one of the first ones that had air conditioned bunks below.
Yep.
So
That
you
was
could
a
get down there,
huge
it was so
clipper.
hot.
That was a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
deal.
Yes,
it was a huge deal. You could go in there and get on there at 2 o'clock and sleep till 6 in the air conditioning.
Yep.
If you first come, first serve, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got
it
to
was.
find over getting those places real fast.
They sure
but
would.
still, sometimes I go on. My boat now runs a 25-hour trip, so you get a 2-day limit.
Right.
So we first want to get down there and get that bunk. But,
Oh, yeah.
We try to fish as much as we can, not sleep.
I always tried to get up top, though. I like sleeping on where the engine covers were. Because it was, in the wintertime, it would be warm. In the summertime, it wouldn't be too bad, but it was air conditioned. But you were up there where, if they stopped in between, if I was tired, I could go in there and catch me a power nap and get ready to go fish again in a minute.
But if you always remember, there's always a poker game going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what about at the head, the galley, the cooks always had the best hamburger.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I always said the best hamburger I ever ate was after you've been fishing 5-6 hours and get one of those hamburgers.
Sure did.
Now, also, the old Hobbs pasture up there where Deer Point Lake is now, that's some original old Hobbs
Yes,
land.
that was Uncle Ole.
Okay.
He was my grandfather's brother.
Okay.
And he was also the sheriff at one time, I think in the 20s. Bay County Sheriff.
And also, I know a lot of times I'll mention some of the folks, Bill Ellisor. A lot of folks knew Bill Ellisor. That'd be your cousin.
His cousin, yes, sir.
So your family roots run deep here.
Yeah, run deep on the Hobbs side and the Howell side. My grandfather Howell, he was in the legislature that made the motion to create Bay County out of Washington County in 1913.
Is that right?
And actually, we live in the house he built over in the Cove at 501 Beach Drive at the present time. The old house is quite old, and it was built before there was ever a Beach Drive there. It was
Is
a
that
beach.
right? Well, what year was it built?
We think it was 1907.
All right, well, that's cool. All right, so we've covered the history and the background and all, and so I wanted to show you that Mike just didn't start last week around the boats and all. He's been around them his whole life and a couple of generations. So we're going to take a quick break and come back and show you what they're doing now. All right, welcome back. Sitting here with Captain Rick Corder and our guest Mike Hobbs, Watson Landing Marine and Dry Storage. Now that property down there, first of all, Watson Bayou is historically been a unique place as far as people taking their boats up there, protecting them from storms and all. So tell us a little bit about that location.
Well, it's also the site of the old sawmills right in there years ago. So Millville's got quite a history. And right up in the mouth of the bayou, I purchased the property in the 70s, the mid to late 70s, and I bought Johnson's Seafood was down there at one time, or Johnson's Meat, and then there was Panama Generator was also located, and then the oil company was next door, and so I ended up purchasing all that property, and then I ended up with 4 acres right across the street. So we've got quite an investment for quite a while in Millville, so we plan on developing all the property down there, all of it marine, fishing orientated. We plan on putting some little storages in there. Everybody that owns a boat, they've got chairs and rods and reels and gear, and they always need a place to put it. But we're going to have bait and tackle, beer, ice, hooks, some fishing gear, limited, and hopefully we'll have a full service here this spring for our customer. Also, we got RVs. We got space for RVs right now, jet skis, pontoon boats. We hold 240 boats up to 30 foot, and we're full service. Got a man there 7 days a week, so we can accommodate early trips, late trips. Just about, we're very flexible. The guy's on call 24/7.
What's your maximum weight?
Maximum weight is 12,000 pounds right now. We're looking at a larger lift this spring.
Well, I went down there recently, and it's just we got this picture here, 240 boat capacity, and it's just a beautiful building, and it's got like a lot of room and all. And then this next slide over here, you got boat storage and maintenance. You got ethanol-free gas, and the hurricane hole that goes way back.
Way back.
Yeah.
When it's real rough everywhere else, people bring the boats in the bow and anchor up usually. But our fuel, we give you get a 15 cent a gallon discount on fuel when you stay at the marina. We've got a winter rate right now. It's a runner special for $10 a foot for 4 months, which is a pretty good rate on that dry storage. So we're trying to get some people different boats in there for this winter here, getting ready for the spring.
So you got, I mean, this is just like the first step. You got a lot of stuff coming down the road.
We got a lot of stuff coming down the road, and we're talking to them about the Cold Boys tournament, sponsoring it for them down there this year. So
that'd be a good location for that.
And,
be a lot more room and all.
You know, they've been kind of pinched up in the past, and we've got enough area down there and picnic tables, and we can accommodate a pretty large party down there because we do have enough land. There's 700 foot on the bayou. And matter of fact, part of it was where the oil terminal was on the Superfund list, and they notified me the other day that they've appropriated the money and going to come in there and clean that site up where the oil tanks were. So that'll be basically pollution free when they get through.
Oh, that's great.
That's 200 feet right at the very end, next to where the old Gulf Marina used to be.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
What's the depth of coming in and out of there?
Well, they used to bring barges in there, 12 foot right at the end of that one pier where the old fuel pier was.
Yeah.
It's about 10 or 12 foot.
It has a lot of natural depth in there,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
That's one of the early.
It's deep right in there, because they used to bring barges on each side of the bayou there.
I would not be afraid to try to go in there with 8 foot if you know where you're going.
Yeah. I've got 8 foot at the end of my dock.
Yeah.
Mike, on some of these construction jobs you've done around here, what are some of the construction jobs?
Well, we built Largo Mar years ago, and I built Dalewood, was one of my first developments here, and Briarwood Apartments was one of my projects. Florida State, the first phase of Florida State, we built in the Bay County Health Center, the original Bay County Health Center, was moved by the hospital. So we've done quite a few projects in this area. A lot of our projects have been down in South Florida, for South Florida Water Management, some of the larger projects, and we worked in Puerto Rico, and we've also worked in Andros Island. So we've worked all over pretty much in the construction days, but I'm basically phased out of the construction and strictly focusing on this marina right now and this marina development.
So you're going to dedicate all your time into that?
I'm pretty much dedicated, committed to that.
Now, who are some of your workers down there? You were to mention them. Jeremy Donaldson, he's my dock master, and he worked at the beach. That's the guy I met.
Yeah, he'd worked at the beach for years, and he's really on the ball, real personal person, and he'd just go out of his way to make our customers happy. And I think everybody's satisfied. And I got a young lady in there that's basically the administrator of the books and keeps up with the money, and Kelly Barr, and she's very well experienced and jam up. So we're proud of our staff. We got a couple of local people running around down in there to help to clean boats and do whatever. In our service, we also pull the boats, we wash the exterior of the boats, and we also flush the engines, which is an additional service that we do. Yeah. So when we put them up, there won't be any salt water dripping on somebody else's boat.
Yeah.
And they'll be flushed out. So if you decide to leave it in there for a month and not use it, you won't have to worry about those water pumps getting that salt water all up in them.
Yeah, one of the first things I noticed, you had a little fish cleaning area.
We got a little fish cleaning area that's lit, so if you come in late, plenty of room right there to clean the fish, lit. It's kind of a neat little hut. And
now some of y'all, if Scott Lindsay's fishing, he ain't got to worry about having to clean them because he's not gonna catch much. When people like me and Rick go out, we're gonna need that fish cleaning.
You're gonna need them, and it'll accommodate a pretty good sized fish too, up the way we've got it with the sinks and water.
I ain't want to start nothing, Scott, but I wouldn't stand for it.
But hopefully we'll have some wet slips in by the end of next summer that we can accommodate some of your sports fisherman type boats. Well, to go along with what we have.
You talk to anybody in real estate. I know a lot of folks in real estate watch this show, and the old adage is the 3 most important things: location. And I think that's where that's going to be one of the secrets of your success is your location.
Well, we're trying to build something the city can be proud of, especially with this redevelopment that they're doing downtown. We consider ourselves downtown and to be an asset and beautification in the Millville area.
Well, the other nice part about it is where that's located. Like I say, in bad weather, it's a great place to store a boat because you're away from the coastline, and so it's up to a category 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a pretty hefty storm.
Our building's certified for 135 mile an hour gust. And it's vented also. That's all the drainage on the water and the site goes underneath the building and absorbs into the soil and runs out after basically it's clean. As the water runs out the drainage, you could almost drink it out of the pipes.
You know,
it's so clear.
When I went down there, that's one of the first things you and I talked about, because that is a big building, has a lot of runoff on it, but we looked at it, and it goes down into the rocks, down into the soil. It doesn't wash out into the bank.
It's environmental friendly as you can get.
That's good stuff.
We're trying to keep it that way.
Yeah. Okay, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Sitting here talking to Mike Hobbs of the old Pioneer Hobbs family. Really enjoyed always talking about history and all and our heritage, and Mike's right in the middle of it. And of course, Captain Rick Corley. Rick, real quick before it looks like we wound up with missing another hurricane this season.
Didn't hurt my feelings.
I didn't hurt none of our feelings. So next time you're on the show, we're going to talk about it. But real quick, the El Nino coming up. What do you think about that? I hear a lot of talk about that. You think it's going to affect this area? Winter, spring?
Yeah, it will, because let's face it, the Pacific Ocean is 70% of the surface of the Earth.
Yeah.
And so when it's hot, it affects everything else. Some of this stuff about global warming I don't buy into, but that does have an effect on the season. That's a lot of the driving force for these hurricanes. And we're just going through a cycle.
Yeah.
And
so you think we can get some winter and spring storms pretty strong from that maybe? So we need to be on the lookout. Real quick, let's do our fishing game time brought to us by Mark Coward, Accounts Real Estate. Our times, I'm going to hold them up right here. 5:06 to 7:06 this morning, and this afternoon 5:28 to 7:28. So Mark and his son Michael Coward, redfish team, and they've caught a lot of redfish recently. We'll get them back on the show pretty soon and talk about red fishing. Okay, another thing, let me do this one quick announcement before we get back with Mike, because it's happening this Friday afternoon at the Historical Society. The last minute Christmas gifts. A lot of folks, the Historical Society once a year will do this before Christmas. Have some authors down there Friday afternoon, and I personally will be down there, and I will have my book. A lot of people asking about my book. I will be there from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and that's located on West 6th Street at the corner of Oak Avenue and 6th Street. Okay, and that's it. They do this every year. Marlon Womack will be there. 4 or 5 authors will have a book set up, and if you want an autograph book for Christmas or something, run down there Friday afternoon. They have refreshments. We've done it before. Really, really neat idea. We all get together, have a great time. Those 3 hours Friday afternoon for your gifts and all, for books and all. Okay. Now let's get back to these. I'm excited about this place down here because first of all, it's a quality built, and Mike, tell us a little bit more about it. We've got the building right here. We're going to show it. We can enlarge it. So the office is located on the side over there.
Yeah, we got an office right on the side, and we got upstairs for storage area, for additional storage for the upstairs, and basically our forklift's a 15,000-pound Taylor forklift.
Let's go to this forklift. I want to show the folks this forklift. Let's see. There you go. Right there.
That can handle up to a 30-foot, 12,000-pound boat. Yeah. But we're looking at alternate another forklift that's larger, 22,000-pound one, this spring to handle some of your 32s, 34-footers that might weigh a little bit more than longer forks.
Yeah. People forget, you got a 12,000-pound boat, they'll put 1,500 pounds of their own stuff on a boat. And when you start adding fuel and water and bait and ice and fishing gear.
And then you put it forward, you throw the center of gravity off, and it kind of throws a ringer on a forklift. But we're preparing for that.
Okay, one thing too, I noticed as far as the runoff of the water, we talked about how good that was. Also, how many racks high do you go?
We go 4 racks high up to top rack. Will be 45 foot off of the ground. So that's pretty good ways up there. So you don't have to worry about anybody touching your boat once it's stored in the racks.
And even if you folks don't have a big boat like that, I know a lot of y'all have relatives and good friends that have these big boats. And the thing about it, the location, you don't have to worry about beach traffic.
That's
You come
right.
down 231 if you're out of town, and just keep coming on down Harrison Avenue and take a left, and you're right there.
We've got a number of Alabama people that have boats down there. Just come down.
The
It's
other thing
perfect
about
for
dry
them.
storage is real important. That's some of the best money you spend because you're getting it out of the ultraviolet lights for the fiberglass.
Dust.
You're out of the salt. You're out of the dust. The whole 9 yards. You're getting away.
Your boat will be like
water,
new.
That's right. Salt water and sunshine are the two things they're working on everything on that boat,
Yeah.
trying to tear it up.
Yeah.
And so when you put it in dry storage, that's smart money.
Yeah, and you and I talked about that before when we were talking about values of a boat, because
Yes.
when you go survey them, you can tell right away, can't you? Whether
Yes,
it's been
you
in the
can.
sun. It gets that chalky look and,
Yep.
and that little rust all over it.
Another item to remember is your wife. You put your boat in there. Your wife can come put it in anytime she wants to. All she's got to do is get in the boat and go. We'll fuel it.
That's a
We'll
good
take
point.
her load of stuff. We'll take it out. She can take her friends out, and it's basically will be effortless for them.
Yeah.
And it'll get it out of the driveway or the garage. And I know that's a problem with everybody. The yard. I've heard it myself for years. Get that boat out of my driveway. Take it down to Watson Landing.
Yeah, and you were thinking about it, the wife and the kids or and the neighbors' kids and all, they can just go down there on a summer morning while you're off working or something. You got to worry about them. You can load them up. They go out to Shell Island and spend the whole day out there.
That's it.
Bring it back in,
Right.
and you ain't got to wash it off.
That's right. We'll do all that. We'll do the work. We'll work while you play. That's our motto.
Well, okay. Your phone number? What's your phone number, real quick?
It's 850-747-4999.
Okay, all right. Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage. One of our new sponsors. We want to welcome them on. We're glad to have you. And like I said, mine goes way back, the Hobbs family. So, Rick, thank you for coming on,
Sure.
bringing them on and all. And Rick's good about hooking us up with these folks, and we appreciate it. And thank you so much.
I appreciate your time.
All
I
right.
enjoyed it.
And Rick, we're going to see you pretty soon, too.
Yep.
And
Have a Merry Christmas if I don't see you before
that's
then.
true now. This is Rick's last show
Yeah.
before Christmas. We're into Christmas time.
You
This
bet.
is December already.
Yeah, it'll be after New Year before I see you next
I
time.
want to see you the next year.
That's
then.
right.
That's right. And folks, as always, on Panhandle Outdoors, we want to tell you how much we appreciate your viewership, and thank you for emails. Tomorrow now, I've got a lot of pictures to show you from hunting over Thanksgiving. So I had them today, but we're going to show them tomorrow, and get caught up on all these pictures.
One other thing, Dr. Jeremy Sincera, we're going to try to get back when they come back
Okay.
on in January.
You'll have a great day. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.